The clock has just struck 12. It's another semester and another protest. On a much smaller scale this time. The vibes are absolutely through the floor at the moment. Maybe they'll pick up. We have one person on the megaphone, everyone else is sort of standing around. There's some high school students here, interestingly, but only about 100 people. It is growing slowly, but it's just had transition time, so I think this is about as full as it'll get. There's the cops over here, campus watch behind the camera. Man, yeah, let's go talk to some people, I guess. Do you guys want to tell us why you're here?
Because we're all going to go to uni, and we're year 13s, and we're all going to go to uni, and we don't want to have to pay what our parents didn't have to pay.
Right, what school are you guys from?
Logan Park.
Logan Park.
All from Logan Park.
All from Logan Park. Right, so you guys have actually skipped school for a bit to come out here?
Yeah.
Right, we've got some waggers. How did you guys find out about the protest?
The flyers. I found out
Flyers around our school.
Oh, right, okay.
the little
Interesting.
ones are spreading them.
Right, interesting. What are you guys looking to study here?
I'm doing media.
Media.
Psychology.
Psychology.
Bachelor Science.
Bachelor of Science. So quite a range of students coming out, I suppose. Thanks, guys. By this point in the protest, there's about 400 people in attendance. It peaked at around 600 when we were walking around the university, which you'll see in a minute. Throughout this video, we're going to talk to the Alliance Party. That's very interesting to hear their perspectives. I think you'd be surprised. Benedict Ong has a brief takeover. We've talked to Brian Roper, a few more students, and ultimately we progress through the protest. It ends in a sit-down / occupation of St Dave's, and Grant Robertson showing up, which you'll see in part 2. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy. This is a very serious situation, but I just want you guys to check out this dragon. It's sick. All right, so you're part of the Alliance Party, are you?
Yes, I'm Victor Billot, the Dunedin candidate and leader of the Alliance Party, and this is Anna Knight, who's the Taieri candidate.
Nice to meet you, Anna. Victor.
Yeah.
Why has Alliance started back up?
Well, we just think there's a need for it. Think there's a need for a democratic socialist party that sticks up for workers' rights and students and that type of thing, and we think there's a gap in the politics at the moment.
So, especially for young people, how does Alliance differentiate itself from Labour and the Greens?
Well, I think probably we're the most left-wing party running in the election, and to explain what that means, we're really seeking a complete transformation of society and putting power and wealth back in the hands of the working class majority. And you probably won't hear the Labour Party or the Green Party talking in those terms.
Right.
They're kind of like maybe a bit of a softer message. We think that we actually need to.
So what does that look like practically?
What does it look like practically? Well, I guess you could say in terms of today's event, we do believe in free education. Education. That comes at a substantial cost, so we'd have to change the tax system to afford that.
Right.
So financial transactions tax.
And you said putting the power directly into workers, is that what you're referencing?
Yeah, well, I mean, just so they have more say over their society, which is
so
the majority.
the
All we're saying is the majority of people.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I was wondering if you're alluding to some sort of like voting system for the public, like opportunities proposed.
Oh, yeah, no, we're not really into referendums, that type of stuff, because we don't think they they can be captured by the groups with the biggest money and the biggest profile.
And there's been a lot of news recently about AI.
Yes.
You've seen the Green Party come out against the data centres wanting to push pause. What's Alliance's stance on AI?
Well, we don't have a particular policy on that one at the moment,
right.
But obviously a big concern about AI and automation would be around jobs, know, and we want to make sure that the AI, if it is used, then it is not something that just can be used for multinational corporates and big business to replace workers.
Right.
Who don't have an income. So that's our big focus.
How can we promote jobs then? Is that through promoting small business and government agency, or what?
Well, in the Alliance case, we're actually the only party running on a full employment platform, which is what we had in the 1960s in this country.
Yes.
And at the moment, we've got like tens, probably 100,000 people out of work, often young people, often people in low socioeconomic groups.
Yes.
So we actually think the state has a role. The
Right.
government, the state has to step in and say our big policy, flagship policy is Ministry of Works, we call Kiwi Works.
Yep.
We want to get that back running again, building housing, public works projects, infrastructure. So we do it ourselves, and we're not basically getting the ticket clipped by overseas large corporates who do the work now.
Yes, okay, interesting. So would you guys be looking to potentially try and onshore work again as well?
That's the goal. I mean,
Right.
we're standing for,
Workers,
we'd want to
right.
see everyone in the country who wants a job has a
Right.
job. And at the moment, that's not the case. Even though the unemployed people are being blamed for
Yes.
unemployment, we all know that the reason we have unemployment is it's the way. I mean, it's actually been all the bankers and so forth say we have to put the interest rates up to get unemployment up, so therefore we don't have high inflation.
What does this mean around like mining and stuff then?
Well, I mean, it depends. We're not completely anti-mining, but a lot of the mining at the moment we're not in favour of.
Right.
Certainly, we think that the local communities had more of a say, and
So,
obviously,
mining done sustainably, basically.
yeah. I mean, for
Right.
example, we wouldn't be in support of what's happening in Central Otago.
Right.
Yeah.
What would you be in support of then?
Oh, well, I mean, we're not completely. I guess we're not completely against any form of mining.
What about
Yeah.
like the coal on Huntly then? Because we're importing dirty coal from Indonesia, right? There's a transport cost and everything.
Absolutely,
Obviously,
yeah.
the majority of the country doesn't want to go on coal, but we are. So would you be pro like the Huntly mine, for example?
Well, I don't think there's any opportunity to change that at the moment
No,
because it's
right.
like we're dependent.
Yes, exactly.
But, yeah.
Yes.
But we do want to move to a decarbonised economy.
Of course.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Do you have any questions, cameraman? No. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
First off, it should be very clear to us, our students are the largest economic driver for Dunedin City. Now, removing fee freeze, what does that mean? It means it's going to impact Dunedin's economy. It impacts the businesses, it impacts our community members, and we should know very well the university has been directly subsidised by our Dunedin City community members and our ratepayers because it benefits from a rates exemption. So we very much have the right to say what we believe in for our crown institution of the university, and we should be foremost saying we have the funds in the university budget to provide financial support to our Kiwi students. Do you know why that is?
Why is that?
Well, first off, there's a lot of spending that's going into Queenstown, that's going outside of Dunedin City, that could be going right here, right now to our Kiwi students, our Dunedinite students in Dunedin City. And I'm very glad that City Council has passed the first in the country motion to oppose the removal of the fee-free policy because we know very simply how it's going to impact our Dunedin community. And then when you think more broadly, there is no reason why Dunedin City, as the centre city for our country, should be allowing ourselves to have resources by our university that we subsidise to be diverted outside to Queenstown or outside anywhere from Dunedin City, where it would otherwise go to provide financial support to our Kiwi students right here and to our campus right here. Because really, that's weakening us in terms of the regional council amalgamation discussion. We all know that. Do you know what Queenstown said to us? Anything but Dunedin.
That was Michael Laws talking to the Queenstown mayor. It wasn't
Yes.
the Queenstown mayor himself, but yes, that was what he said. Anyone but Dunedin.
Exactly.
Yes.
And we know what's more, there's also a land grab for certain parts of Dunedin City by other councils. So it's very simple. We are subsidizing the university for generations. That's what our Dunedin City has been doing. We have the right to say to our university, please allocate the funds and the budget you have when you have an operating deficit for multiple years consistently. Please put that into our campus and please provide that for financial support for our Dunedinite and Kiwi students.
Thank you very much.
I think it's very practical. And do you know what's more? One more thing as well. We have tens of thousands of dollars per student that is being provided to international students. Now, I think it's very fair to say our Kiwi students rightfully have fee freeze because they pay taxes, their families have paid taxes and rates for generations. Now, international students are just paying the simple full fee cost of delivery for the courses. If we're providing financial subsidies from them that are amounting to tens of thousands of dollars per year, I think very simply that can be going right now to our Kiwi students in Dunedin. This is just practical sense.
Right. Yeah. Thank you very much, Benedict.
Thank you.
Hi team, I'm here with Anna Knights, the Taieri candidate for Alliance.
That's right.
Can you tell us a bit about Alliance's top 5 policies, please?
Well, we're we're still working out our policy commissions. We're obviously, quite a new to the scene party. We've, had a sort of 6-month revival period, and we're all still kind of strangers, so we're getting to know each other. But, because we've got some runs on the board, we've got paid parental leave from the past, Kiwi Bank, things like that. And our main focus is retaining assets. I think that's really what differentiates us from the other parties is a union focus, a workers focus, and keeping wealth in New Zealand. There's definitely other parties that are doing similar, and there's allies that we hope to work with in the future. Myself, I was a long-term Green supporter. I'm a very close friend of Julianne Genters, for instance. I knew her from many moons ago. And I support a lot of what they're doing, what Te Pāti Māori is doing, to some extent Labour, although I think my reason for running with the Alliance is that we want a hard left. We want to bring it back. We want to be the scrappy outsider who keeps them honest, because we see our role as being... the Labour of old. They were formed in Blackpool. There's a great video you can watch on Instagram by Ethan Gullery. He's a Christchurch socialist, now Alliance Party candidate, who really speaks to those roots that we just want to keep back. And I lived in France for 20 years, so I've had that experience as well over there of seeing the rise of the far right and seeing left-wing parties that are now just that seems to be our moment. I know some people argue that this is not the time, etc., but I think it really is the time. I think we're seeing that with Mamdani. I think we're seeing it with parties like France Unbowed.
On populism. Is that what you're saying?
Populism to me is a really sort of false term. There's a lot of ambiguity around that term. I think it can be used. You can look at any politician and they'll all at some point claim, or someone else has claimed that they're populist. It's sort of a meaningless term. In my view, what it's speaking to though is that people power has been forgotten. We've forgotten our power as people, and that's due to the degradation of unions over the years. That's due to just the fact that it's all going upwards. And even when you try to get fair taxation, as in equal to what working people are putting out, when you try to get that amongst the rich, you don't get it. You get a lot of protest, and the usual hit back to that is, they're going to leave the country. But I'm sorry, there are exit tax. There are different ways that you can ensure that wealth stays local, and that's what we're all about. We're here to hold Labour's feet to the fire.
That's very interesting, and I really do look forward to hearing more of your policies your actual policies once they come out. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good to meet you.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah.
And how the word union is actually about us being together, which is what we're doing today.
Here, a representative for the Tertiary Education Union, TEU, has just called for violence. She claims the other side has already made the fees-free issue violent, and as such, this group should respond with violence.
I know it's always a good idea to quote people who are in the field, and so in the field of writers whose words and actions give me shape and who give me hope, I want to quote to you Audre Lorde, amazing black lesbian feminist, who said that your silence will not protect you. I want to tell you about Saul Williams, who's an amazing poet and rapper and dancer who talks a lot about workers' rights, and he refused to dance anymore for money and in public once he learned that the lyrics he was dancing to.
Right, and that has been the emo of this specific government, especially of seeing thousands and thousands of people in the street and just waiting till it blows over. So then I want to offer something of a lesson from the trade union. What do you do when your boss doesn't care about your arguments because they only see you as a walking cost? You can simply stop. So you stop working, you stop doing what you're told, but if I was to stop on my own, I achieve almost nothing. And the boss can make an example of me, right? But if hundreds of us stop at the exact same time, we can say, you have a choice. Give us at least some of what we want, or we give you a dead, silent workplace where nothing happens. So the whole institution then shudders because it needs us to function, and we have proved it by simply stopping what we're doing.
We're here with the man, the myth, the Marxist, Brian Roper himself. What have you got to say to us, Brian?
I just want students here to be aware of the fact that in over half the countries in the OECD, they have much lower fees, much higher levels of student support, and therefore much lower levels of debt. The real outliers are the United Kingdom, the United States, Australia, Canada and New Zealand. We have the highest fees in the world, much higher than most other similarly developed countries. Students in this country are being absolutely ripped off, and they're waking up to this fact. We want fees-free education, well that's what they want, and a universal student living allowance, and also, and therefore if you have those two things, if you have fees-free and you have a universal living allowance, you have no student debt, right? And I think centrally that is what this protest is about. You know, we've had a number of generations now, including these kids' parents, who've been absolutely ripped off by high tuition fees, woefully inadequate provision of student allowances in which 2/3 of university students are ineligible because the parental threshold is set so low for eligibility. And that is forcing all of these students to accumulate tens of thousands of dollars worth of debt just to get an education. And let me just add, in Germany right now, as this protest is taking place, bachelor's and master's students can study fees-free. In France, students are only paying $250 NZ all up for the full year at bachelor's level and $500 per year at the master's level. So this idea that we can't afford it, we can't afford fees-free, we can't afford universal living allowances doesn't stack up to the available comparative public policy data with respect to tertiary education.
Where's the money going then?
The money is going to tax breaks for landlords who are also ripping off these students. We've got $1.7 billion per year investment boost, right? The money is being sucked upwards and is being concentrated in the top 2 or 3% of the people who live in this country. It's outrageous, and it's so heartwarming to see these students standing together and making it clear that they've had a guts full. They're not going to continue to put up with fees going up 6% year after year. We've had 3 years in a row. Then one measly year fees-free gets cut. It's appalling. And we are seeing the reawakening of the student union movement, and it's fantastic. Bring it on, and it's going to keep building and gathering momentum right up until election day. They may have the millions, but we've got the people.
Thank you. One quick further question. What do you think about the Alliance's resurgence this year?
Well, it's always good to see people who are standing up for universal student allowances and fees-free tertiary education. So I think that I view positively all political parties that are actually committed to doing that. Right. It is tragic. It is a travesty that Freudian slip, that Chris Hipkins hasn't come out immediately and said Labour will reinstate this 1 year's fees-free. Actually, how about honouring their election promise in 2017 that would have given all these students 3 years fees-free? That was supposed to be introduced by 2024, but Labour broke its promise. So we don't have high expectations from Labour, but we hope to be pleasantly surprised.
Thank you very much, Brian.
Students are meant to be radical. We have been for centuries. We do not sit back and take it as our debts skyrocket, our lecturers are laid off, and our programmes are slashed. We can be heard if we stand up. We can fight and we can win. We are going to be the backbone our university needs to fight back against government austerity and save our tertiary sector. Let us ask ourselves, are we going to let
Hey guys, we've just had a call for militant action. Cameraman thought they were going to go occupy the clock tower, but it turns out we are sitting down with militancy inside St David's building. And they're going to have a democratic discussion about what they do next, which they're thinking they're going to have a meeting so they can talk to Grant Robertson. So, yeah, pretty extreme.
They are now having a discussion to work out whether or not they should have a discussion now or later.
It gave me the right change for it. What one is that?
502.
Okay. It's been years since I've had a caramello. It's like oh, there we go. It's like a kid. Right, let's go do some media stuff.
So the question is, we'll stay here in this building. Maybe at some point we'll occupy the theatre or whatever. We can decide on that too. Until at least we get a conversation with the Vice Chancellor. So yeah, that's the question. We'll invite people to come up and speak for or against that if you wish. And just before we get on to that, maybe some housekeeping. So, no matter the sort of decision of the group, we are going to try and, to the best of our ability, make it so people can come and go as they wish, so you should really stay if you can. And we have, functional bathrooms over there. If we need to, we're able to get food in. So we're in a fairly safe situation at the moment. But yeah, just with that out of the way. Maybe we'll do a hand.
It's currently a discussion about whether or not they should have a discussion. So, riveting stuff. We'll get back to you.
Cut courses like Spanish and increase courses like that Palo Alto technical entrepreneurship bullshit. You know what's insane? When we've got more billionaires every single year, and you guys are facing decades of debt. What is decades of debt? Decades of debt is like you're working longer every day. Every day you're working longer. That's what you guys are looking at. Years and years of extra work. Unless you can throw a stick in the spokes of that wheel. And that's what you got to do. You know it's insane. What are you going to do? In terms of whether this is the thing, you've got to talk about it. You've got to discuss it. You've got to organise. And if it isn't strategic enough, what can you do? But make your connections, like get your meetings going and like build the movement. Because that was the other thing with the Education Action Group back in the day. It went for ages. And we had meetings to organise stuff with like 70 people in the room talking just like this. That's a mass movement, guys. Hey, if we've done before, can be done again. Hasta la victoria siempre.
Alright, so now we'll try and move into a decision. So what we're going to do is I'm going to all opposed. It's the vote.
They just voted to stay sitting in here. They were about to march St Dave's, but Benedict Ong got up and tried to say something, and has seemed to de-escalate the momentum. He sort of created confusion. So,
ideally would be either in the management.
Littering. Watch me be a good boy. So there's about to be a vote in like 5 minutes as to whether or not these guys occupy St Dave's 1 or go occupy other parts of campus. Because of that, cops are increasingly coming in to prevent, I guess, that from occurring. You'd think that waiting would just allow more cops to come, so I think that's what's going to happen. We will see how this progresses.
Cameraman here, we're just still sitting in, you're good, still sitting in St Dave's. Students are typing away, emailing off to Grant Robertson, demanding meetings. The ISO has handed out bust cards with what to speak to police, as well as the contact number of a lawyer if things were to escalate with the police. The police have gathered around the far side of St Dave's. There is the potential blockading the doors to prevent lectures in St Dave's main lecture theatre. So we're about 15 minutes in now, half an hour into the sit-in, 15 since the decision to stay sitting here, and people are still sticking around. Snacks have been passed around, people have got their laptops out, foods, and working away, firing off emails to Grant Robertson. Stay tuned.
Here's a bus card they hand you around if you're arrested, so it tells you what you must tell the police. Name, date of birth, address, place of birth and occupation. And if they ask for anything else, it says use your rights to say no comment. You're entitled to speak to a lawyer, and who I assume is the number of a lawyer. Did you guys know this was going to happen?
Yeah.